Welcome to Economics. We're back. It's another week. It's another show. Marc and Bryon here to talk all things going on in the world of the nerd. Bryon, how you doing? How are things?
Mark, things are doing well. I'm getting ready for the holiday, getting ready for Christmas. Allison and myself spent a lot of time decorating. We have a lot more to do because we're actually hosting this year.
Yeah.
And we haven't actually hosted Christmas Eve with my family since 2019. 2020 was supposed to be the year. Well, obviously that got canceled. So it's been a while, hot minute. So I've been getting ready for that. Mark and me will be doing our best of show on December 26th.
Yes, we will.
We're going to be covering our top 4 movies, shows, and miscellaneous, since we figured that's the best way to go. And I will have some interesting stats from our podcast throughout the year. And I know you said you've been writing down my Bryonisms, which
there's not many this year. It's been very light. You've been light on the Bryonisms.
All right.
You're hot out the gate, but then you kind of cooled off for the rest of the year. You didn't really get too.
I did have
Briny.
A bomb last week.
I got it. Don't worry. I got a couple of them. I got a couple.
I know, but we're not going to repeat what I said last week.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Edited out
the whole part of the show out, so that way you didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, which was.
Then of course you had to mention it at the end of the show, so people are like, "What was he? What did he say?" And no one will ever know because I'm never going to tell anybody. So
no, and nobody's asked. Nobody cares.
This winter, visit Connecticut's first gluten-free farmers market at 420 Summers Road in Ellington. The market will be open select Sundays from 10 a.m. to noon. A variety of local vendors selling produce, pet treats, plants, handmade products, and food items, as well as free activities from crafts to food demonstrations and local music artists. The market has something for everyone. For a list of dates and more information, scan the QR code on screen. We hope to see you at the next gluten-free farmers market at 420 Summers Road in Ellington.
Wow.
And we're back. Sorry, I had a phone call. Having some home fun things to deal with because my year isn't bad enough as it is. Little leak in the old drain systems causing issues at the house. So I had a phone call from the adjuster I had to deal with. But we're back. And Bryon, what do we have coming up on the show that's exciting and I'm excited to talk about?
Okay. So our big topic today, we'll be talking about episodes 1 through 3 of Willow.
Yes.
Like I said before, really haven't watched much. I have watched the Willow. I've been watching Mythic Quest, which this season's pretty good so far. I wouldn't say it's as strong as season 1 or 2, but it is enjoyable.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah, it's still enjoyable. I like the characters.
Yeah.
The last episode, I'm 2 behind. I think the last episode I watched is when Poppy was told by the 2 testers that her big platform she's so excited about isn't fun.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering where they're going with all this. It feels weird because you have 2 studios now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're setting things up, I believe, for something. You have a movie for Mythic Quest happening.
I don't know. It seems like they're stretching it too thin.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes.
I don't know.
But I'm still enjoying it. It's what else? Really just catching up a normal show, like regular half-hour things, nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's that weird time where there's not like, I feel like there isn't anything that's like long form that's out that you can watch.
I gotta
part where I've caught up on everything.
Yeah, I gotta watch.
I don't have like anything else to like. Usually I'd have like the show on this day, the show on this day, the show on this day.
Right.
Nothing's really spread out enough. So there's not a lot like to cover a whole week's worth of stuff to do.
Well, Mythic Quest and Willow both drop on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I will watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special this weekend, and we'll be talking about that next week.
Yeah, watch that. That was good.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch. I like watching holiday movies closer as we get there. So I will be definitely. That's on my list. It's a must watch. I'm super excited to watch it. So we will be covering that next Monday. Other than that, Mark, I have some news, but I mean, other than what you just said, do you have anything else? Oh, we do want to bring up the market.
Yes.
The gluten-free market.
Yes. Gluten-free market. We'll be showing that ad in just a bit to promote that. But no, like you were saying, watching Willow, enjoying that. We'll talk more in depth about that in just a bit. Like I said, not really much going on show-wise. Nothing really new that's out there.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of all at one day kind of thing. Started watching the new season of Doom Patrol on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It's good. I like it. I started watching it because Brendan Fraser was on it, so I started watching it.
It's a show that's on my list on HBO, and I want to get into it.
Yeah. It's the third season. It's our fourth season.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like it's still early, and I had thought it'd come out farther back. So I thought there was more episodes. Because usually I wait until it's all done, then watch it. Because I don't know. I don't find it as a show that I can digest well one at a time. Because some shows like you can watch weekly.
Yeah.
And it's okay. But some shows like this one, it seems like you need to watch it all together. Because it's just it's too much randomness that I need to have all at one time as opposed to spread out.
I didn't know Doom Patrol was a weekly show. I thought it was
I don't think it used to be, but HBO now is doing it that way.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of, because they used to just dump it all at once, I believe.
Well, no, the first season was on CW, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't on CW. It was on HBO Go. Back when that was a thing.
All right.
Yeah. Titans was on CW originally.
Gotcha.
That's what you're thinking of.
I mean, it makes sense for these streaming services. They want people retain an audience. It just came out, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it is a show I want to get into. I am very curious to check it out. So
yeah, it's actually the real comeback of Brendan Fraser was on that, because that was his first thing he got.
Yeah,
his comeback.
Yeah, I heard he's really good. So
he is really good. Yeah,
I'm excited. I'll definitely check. It's on my list.
Yeah,
on my HBO list. I have a list like on every streaming service where I just pick all the things I want to watch.
Yeah,
and then life happens and you never get to them.
No, exactly. Yeah, and I'm starting to get to the point now. I'm starting to parse out streaming services. Like if there's nothing on them that I want to watch, I'm just not going to subscribe to them until something's worth to have on them.
That's what I do all the time. What bothered me about Disney Plus, this is a bait and switch on Disney Plus, and it really pissed me off. They were like, we are introducing a ad version of the service.
Yeah.
But what do? They raise the premium, the one we all have for $7 to $14, and then make the $7 the ad one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty shitty. They should have kept the $7 and made a $5 ad tier.
Yeah. No.
Luckily, I have it bundled with my Hulu subscription, so I'm really not paying much more. So it's I have a Hulu, ESPN, Disney,
which is also going up.
What
after
is
the new year? The bundle. I got a thing from Verizon saying it's going up to like $21.
Yes, because Disney Plus is going up to $14.
Yeah.
Right now the bundle, Hulu raised their. I'm paying $80 for all of that because I have live TV with my Hulu. Which I'm fine. If it were to go up even more, I would cut out live television totally and just drop it down to the 20 something. I do watch live television now and again, but a part of me feels like I might get rid of it just because prices are going too high now.
Yeah.
And also because I subscribe to Peacock now because They
Law
and
and
they
Order.
have Law and Order and whatnot, but they have live channels you can watch on there.
Yeah.
So a part of me feels like we might I don't know. We'll have to see where everything goes.
It's
But
the
yeah,
thing of like I'd said from the very beginning, when we were had this discussion way back when about the cable stuff. It's all gonna get the same way. All these other streaming services are gonna catch up to the
But-
cable companies, and it's all gonna be crazy priced.
I a counterpoint is this. Cable, when I had cable, it was almost going up to $250.
Yeah.
Now, I'm locked in, and I have a bunch of channels I don't watch.
Yeah.
So with streaming services, my counterpoint to that argument is this: I can cancel anytime. I have no wires. I have no boxes. I don't have a DVR. I have no equipment to return. I have no equipment to take care of, pay rental fees for.
Yeah.
And I can cancel any of these on a click of a button. So the counter argument is I get cable was getting way out of hand because I was paying $250 for 4 channels I actually watched. And like the DVR, I'm paying rental fees on the cable box, on the DVR, on the modem. I own my own. Now I mean, I don't even have, I have fiber, so internet's way faster, but like I get what you're saying, but my counterpoint is with streaming services, it's more convenient. And it is still cheaper depending on how many streaming services you may have. I just think streaming services are just going up. Everything's going up. So you can just be a little bit more picky and choosy. I only have Apple TV when Mythic Quest is around. And when Mythic Quest is over, will cancel Apple TV. I've always been that way with Disney. Unless Mandalorian was airing, I canceled it. But then they're like, let's crap out a Disney, an MCU and
Marvel
Star Wars
show or some random
every
show.
3 months. Yeah, so then I'm like, oh god damn you, Disney. So I bundled it with Hulu because I figured, well, I have it, might as well. But like, you know, like I'm Peacock I've been watching a lot more of, but in the summertime, I'll probably just cancel it for the summer because I probably won't be using it. So I mean, I think there's still more flexibility with streaming services. I think if you have cable and streaming services, well, you're paying way more. So I kind of feel like if you either have cable or you have streaming services. And like Netflix, I was paying for the 4K, which was $15. It's going up to $22. So I actually cut it back down to the HD version. So it's back to $15. I'm like, F that noise. Hulu doesn't charge extra for 4K content. Disney Plus doesn't charge extra 4K content. Apple TV, everything's in 4K. It doesn't charge it. So I'm like, Netflix, screw you. I am not. I'll go down to the 1080.
I just let my Netflix go because I was like, there's nothing on here. I don't watch anything on here.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, why am I paying for this service that has nothing on it?
The one service I wish we watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, but we have Amazon Prime, so it comes with it. But a part of me feels like Amazon Prime sucks. Like 2-day shipping doesn't really happen, and I try not to buy from Amazon. So like Amazon Prime has gone up considerably. It used to be $80 a year. I think it's like $120 now.
I don't know. Claire handles it. I don't know.
Yeah, part of me is just like,
what it is because she uses Amazon for almost everything. So
yeah, I mean, so does Allison. So it's like a part of me feels like I wish I could get rid of that service, but I kind of feel like we're stuck with that. But yeah, I totally get it, man. I've been kind of cutting back on things myself. So, but that is a good thing because if I had cable, I don't know what I would do because I'd be $250 a month, and then I'd be like, what do I do? Do I how do I make that cheaper? I can never make that cable bill cheaper. It was always going up. Because it was bundled with your internet, all the rental fees, all the DVR feature, and all that crap was always more. So I get what you're saying, Mark, but that's my counterpoint to it.
It's the constant.
It's a constant struggle of corporate America trying to take as much money from us as possible. That's really what it comes down to.
It is. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, it boils down to that. Get off my lawn, old man. This is what we're doing. We're going on our rants. Don't get me started on Eversource.
Ugh.
They're gonna all bend us all over next month. So let's go on to happier news, Mark. I got two sets of news. The Video Game Awards happened. I love the Video Game Awards. I'm a huge fan. I watch it every year. It's actually the only award show I care about now. I've kind of don't really care about the Oscars. I don't care about the Golden Globes anymore. I kind of don't care. Granted, we all talked about the Will Smith slap forever.
Yes.
But anyway, the Video Game Awards happened. They were awesome.
Where do you even watch them anymore? Like, I don't even know. Are they even televised anymore?
Video Game Awards are streaming on YouTube, Twitch.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't have no idea what like they even existed. Because
IGN, it's literally streaming on every platform imaginable.
Gotcha. They're not like anywhere on television that you can watch them.
No,
On
it's all online.
Okay. These been like Spike, and then they were on G4, and they were on like all these random channels.
Okay, so back in the day, Spike TV started them with Jeff Keighley. Then Jeff Keighley left. Spike TV went away.
Yes.
Jeff Keighley's like, we should resurrect it because the industry deserves this, and I agree with that.
Remember, they're going to be like the Esquire channel for like a hot second.
That was G4.
Was that G4?
Yeah.
I thought Spike was going to be something too at one point.
I don't know. So anyway, Jeff Keighley brought back the Video Game Awards. It slowly came back, and now this is the first year everybody was back in person because the last couple were remote because of COVID. The big winners, Game of the Year went to Elden Ring, which everybody kind of knew that was going to happen. Best Narrative, God of War Ragnarok, and Best Performance went to Christopher Judge from who plays Kratos in God of War, which was pretty cool that Al Pacino actually gave out that award, and Christopher Judge got to hug Al Pacino. And Al Pacino is so old and small compared to him. He's a big guy. Then they actually had the Last of Us cast come out with the actual voice actors from the video game, with Joel and Ellie, which was really cool. They gave out an award, which was awesome. Last of Us will be starting in January. Super hyped for that show. Family Game, Kirby, Forgotten Land, most in Splatoon got for multiplayer. Sports Racing, Gran Turismo 7, role-playing Elden Ring. Basically, God of War won soundtrack, action adventure, audio design. Stray, which was one of my favorite independent games of the year about a cat. Debut indie game, an independent game. And Bayonetta 3 won for best action game. But it was a great
in all this.
Well, you asked. I'm telling you.
No,
and yeah, there's a lot. It was a great show. A lot of great premieres. We got a look at Death Stranding 2, which I'm super pumped for.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, there's a lot of game reveals. There's this weird
Armored
game.
Core 6. That looked cool, like the mechs.
Yes,
like the robots.
Yeah, and there hasn't been an Armored Core game in a very long time, so it was a big reveal. But yeah, it was a great show all around. And other sad news.
We get the we also got the trailer for the new Star Wars video game.
Yes.
Jedi Survivor.
Yes, dude. Okay, so all of a sudden on the stage, there's a Bacta tank.
Yeah.
With someone floating in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? And then the curtains close.
Which is from the teaser that they put out.
Yeah, and then the trailer happens. It was so cool. And this comes out in March, I believe. The trailer was awesome.
Yes. March 17th, 2023.
I am so excited for this game.
I like the first game.
Oh,
the issue with the game is
it's too hard.
It's not just too hard.
I played it on easy.
it's a lot of you have to do a lot of things to make things happen.
I don't understand. That's video games.
You have to sink too much time into it. I don't like I like a quicker campaign. I don't want to be dropping hundreds of hours of my life into a game.
I don't think it was hundreds. I think I beat it in like less than 40. I think it was a very short game.
It felt like a long time. The story dragged a little some places.
My only complaint, it was
The witch
hard.
part was like, I didn't need that.
Witch?
Remember there was like the planet of witches that you had to fight? They were like fire, and they would like teleport, move around the screen. You had to like chase them down, and it was when you were trying to get like something for your lightsaber or something, a kyber crystal or something. I remember it being a thing, and I just got annoyed.
Mark, this is what you do. The secret is you put it on easy. And
I did.
The campaign.
It was just, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The only thing is, halfway in, I couldn't beat that bird.
Yes,
and I was
that
just
one
like,
too. Yeah.
I was like, I am putting this on easy because this is stupid. I just want to enjoy the story.
Yeah.
I played the rest on easy and I really enjoyed
and like
it.
the weird jumping thing you have to do with it. That was another thing I wasn't a fan of.
It got hard. It was definitely a Souls-like when it came to combat.
Which is just like, I just want to cut things with lightsabers. I don't need to have all these extra things with like the force pushes and the force things and learning all the different things.
That's what you got to do, man. To make this
I know, but I don't need like 9,000 different ways to do that. I just want to like just pull something to me, slice it in half, move on.
Then just play Battlefront. Well, anyway, I'm excited. I'll be playing it come March.
And what did you think of the Cyberpunk add-on?
I have been waiting.
Is it a bad sign that all they did is just show Idris Elba CGI'd and then just him talking about it and not any actual game video?
No, Mark, you're out of touch when it comes to Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is one of the biggest comebacks in video game history, other than.
I know, but I remember that being a thing when it first came out. Was that they were very like.
So the game came out. It was a shit show.
Like, we're not going to show you anything of the game because it was an issue.
Well, no, it was a shit show on everything but PC.
Yeah.
Now, 2 years later, they have completely fixed a lot of things. Everything runs very smoothly on current gen. Tons of free DLC. And then this is going to be the first time they're giving us a paid campaign, an add-on. And the game made one of the biggest comebacks this past year. The game has received a lot of praise for the developers having the time to fix and address all the bugs. Basically, when the game was coming out, the developer said this needs more time to bake in the oven, but on the corporate side, they said we need to make our quota.
Money.
This game is coming out.
Yeah.
And basically it was headbutting between developers and the people who are like, we need to make our stocks go up at the end of the year, our fourth quarter, come on now. And the game is really good now. Keanu Reeves is coming back for the DLC. Idris Elba is going to be in it. It looks awesome. I bought it.
I remember like I watched the video. You don't really see much gameplay. You just see like Idris Elba standing there.
It's just a teaser.
And then it turns around and shows his face, and then he pops up on screens like, "Hey, I'm excited to be in this game."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, you're not gonna give me any like what this is gonna look like or what I'm gonna be doing in this?"
I mean, it's just a teaser. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
But I personally am excited. I bought the game when it first came out. I didn't touch it because I heard all the bad reviews.
Yeah.
And I've actually been waiting until all the bugs. I could play it now. It'll probably be awesome. So
yeah.
But now with the DLC coming, I'm like, you know what? I'll wait till that drops and play the whole campaign, including the DLC, and enjoy it immensely.
Now, are you a big Diablo guy?
No, we only played Diablo 3, and that's it. I
Yeah.
don't have any interest in playing any more Diablo games.
So that's number 4 is coming out in June, and then also in June, Street Fighter 6.
I'm not a big Street Fighter. I mean, I love Street Fighter 2 and 3, but I'm not into the new fighting games.
Now, here's the thing I want to ask you about, because I saw this trailer because of the weekend and the Game Awards coming out, and I saw this trailer, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it because of the person that they used in the trailer. And I was like, well, that just seems like a money grab. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Yeah.
And it's going to include Kevin Conroy as Batman.
He recorded that before he died, Mark. So
I know
money
that.
grab.
I know he did, but I'm saying it seems like they didn't I don't know.
It was actually, if you watch the full trailer, it
I
ends
did
with "Thank you, Conroy."
I know, but it still seems kind of like it's just like,
it's just
hey,
saying
kids,
thank you.
You want to hear Kevin Conroy one last time? Buy
Yeah.
our video game.
Yes, all fans do. He's done all the Arkham games. I mean, and nobody knew. Nobody didn't even know if Batman, who would be playing Batman. So yes, the fans, I do. I want to pick up the game and play it to hear Kevin Conroy again. I mean, if you're a fan of his in the games, yes. And I thought it was nicely done. I mean, this came out for the Game Awards. It was just a thank you. People didn't expect it. I mean, it's not a money grab. He's already in the game, Mark. It's not like they
I don't know, but
AI'd him in
I
there.
think it's just I don't know. I think it was just because it was so close to it happening that it seemed kind of.
Well, it's been a month. He
icky,
died a
I
month
guess.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it
I
seemed
thought it
kinda-
was nice. It's not like the Game Awards does an in memoriam. So I mean,
I don't know. I never watched Game Awards, so I wouldn't be able to tell you either way. So,
Well,
but
I'm saying
I
they
just saw
don't.
I just saw this by itself. I didn't see it in the Game Awards or anything. I just saw the video, the trailer come out, and that's what kind of was like, oh, that seems kind of.
I liked it.
Weird.
I thought it was cool to hear.
I think in the context of being in the Game Awards, would make it make more sense as opposed to just seeing it without being in the Game Awards. Like if you'd heard the crowd reaction and stuff, and there was like a thing at the beginning and a thing at the afterwards where they talk about it, that'd been different. But just seeing just the trailer by itself made it seem kind of strange.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it in the show. I thought it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Now,
are you a Tekken guy? Because I know that's another big game that the kids like.
I'm not a big fighting guy, so no.
Because Tekken 8's coming, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So
anything else?
I was going to the stuff that's on the IGN, and I'm seeing. I saw some things, but I didn't see all of them.
All right, that's fine. I think we covered all the big things anyway.
I guess Hellboy's getting a game.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I hope it's good. The art style was shaded. They didn't show much. We'll find out next year. A lot of great games.
What's this game, Crime Boss?
I don't know. That's a game I was going to talk to you about. Crime Boss has literally a buttload of celebrities in it.
That's what it looks like, yeah. Chuck Norris, Michael Madsen, Danny Glover, Kim Basinger, Danny Trejo, and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. And the trailer didn't give us much of anything other than them. It's supposed to take place in the 90s. I guess there was a stream. I hope it's not a 4-on-4 game. I hope it's an actual game with a campaign. That's what I'm hoping, but I don't think it is. We'll have to find out more as we get closer, because it's like takes place in the 90s, I think, in Miami, and then it's like all these cool celebrities, and you're like, well, what kind of game is this? So it's a cool trailer, but I don't know. I don't know what they're giving us with that game.
Okay.
I hope it's good, but it was cool. Unexpected trailer. There's a lot like, what? Who's in this? What?
I know you love this franchise. So I want to ask your opinion on this one. Transformers Reactivate.
I have only played one Transformers game, and I loved it a lot, but I'm probably not going to play that. But there was a Transformers game that came out to play. that was free on PlayStation Plus years and years ago for PS4, and it was on Xbox, and the game was awesome. And
You know, the one trailer I did see that looked,
I love
sorry, because it's just Transformers. And I know you're not gonna like it, but so I just wanted to throw it out there. But a game I did see the trailer for, and I was like, ooh, I might actually be into this game. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. It looked to me like a I don't want to say better version, but a not as in-depth version of The Witcher.
Oh yeah. It looked
It's like the guy sitting at a table and talking to this girl's talking to him, and then ends up she's not there. She's a ghost. And then they go into the gameplay, and the ghost like helps him find things.
yeah, it's an action role-playing video game.
Yeah. Takes place in 1695 at the haunted wilds of North America.
It did look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looked really interesting. I will definitely be checking it. Yeah, it comes out next year. PS5, the X series. It's about a beautiful, intimate, and powerful story between two fated lovers.
Mm.
Yeah, it does look really good. You get to play both as Anita and Red and battle supernatural forces with magic, weapons, and spiritual powers. Unlock gear and abilities. Uncover the ancient secrets of hidden mysteries, a mythical, lore-rich world.
Yeah, seems very much similar to The Witcher story-wise, like loosely using that same kind of story.
Sort of. I mean,
well, like the fact that it's like you're fighting like monsters and ghosts and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It does look really cool.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So you excited for the Death Stranding? Yeah, I know you kind of talked about that.
Yes, I'm super excited for Death Stranding Part 2. Looks really good. I'm here for Norman Reedus and long white hair.
I saw that. I was like, that's strange.
He's older. He's gotten older from the game.
Oh, was he in the first game?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You play you play as him.
Oh, okay.
All right, Marcus. Anything else?
No, that was always like ones that I kind of had popped when I saw some stuff on YouTube about the Gamer Awards.
Also, tragically, Angelo Badalamenti passed away, the composer pretty much of all Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, but also, if you don't know it, he's also the composer for the Christmas Vacation movie, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. I mean, his name is in a lot of films you may or may not know, but he's done a lot of composing. He died, I think it was like 68.
Something like that, yeah.
And yeah, we just found out over the week, yesterday there were some rumblings, and then it came out. But yeah, when you watch Christmas Vacation, you'll see his name right in the opening credits during the animated part. Every year I forget. I'm like, oh yeah, Angelo
That guy's the guy that did that.
If you want to watch a great,
he was 85.
85. Wow,
yes.
what was I thinking? What did I say? 65?
Yes, 60 something.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that young.
Yeah. If you want to watch a great heartwarming story, Angelo Badalamenti's score is like amazing. If you watch David Lynch's only Disney movie he's ever done was The Straight Story. Heartwarming. Probably one of his most normal movies. It's based off a book. He actually didn't write it. He just directed it. But it's a fantastic movie, and Angelo's score on that is top notch.
Yeah,
and
he also did he started working with David Lynch in '86 and did the music for Blue Velvet. And then you went on to work with him many times for Wild at Heart, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Lost Highway, Straight Story, like you said, Mulholland Drive, and Rabbits.
Oh yeah. They were always working together. He's like the John Williams to Star Wars,
Yeah,
Angelo
he did
Badalamenti is,
like you said, did the music for Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He also did the music for Cabin Fever and the video game Indigo Prophecy.
yes, and you go, great game.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic career. He will definitely be missed. And with that being said, Marcus,
Yes.
Willow. I watched it. I watched 1 through 3.
Good.
I
About
don't know
time. Did you watch the movie first?
I did not.
No, I did not. I just watched the recap like you said too.
I did. I saw the movie when I was a kid like a million times. I will actually, to get kind of the bad taste of the show, I might rewatch the movie.
See, I don't know what your problem is.
I'm not loving it. I'm just thinking it's okay as of now.
It's too woke for you.
It has nothing to do with wokeness. I don't even like that word. Like, I don't watch things because of.
I saw someone say that online, and I was like, "Oh boy, it's terrible."
I don't even know what people are saying online.
They're not happy with the two females.
I have no problem with the cast or the characters. It's not where my problems lie. You want to hear my opinion first? You want to hear? Okay. I watched the first episode. I was like, holy shit. The first 20 minutes, I was like, this show is not for me. Perfectly honest. The first 20 minutes, I was like, feels like a CW show. I don't know why. I was really nervous. The second half saved it for me.
Yes. The first half was establishing the new characters, and then the second half brought in more of the Willow story.
Yeah, we don't get to Willow until the very end, really.
Yeah, it was very much like I kind of had the quick thought of, oh man, this is just like the first Star Wars. Willow's going to take the wand and throw it over his shoulder and walk away and not say anything, and that's going to end the first episode. Listen,
Mark, I have, as much as I have negative to say, I have positive to say. I'm not going to be totally negative here about it. So that first episode, it saved me after once it kicked into gear and I wasn't listening to this horrible dialogue between teenagers that made me really cringe.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is CW fan. It reminded me of this show that was on MTV maybe 7 years ago when they adapted some YA novel that was because Game of Thrones was popular. And I remember watching that first episode with someone and I was like, this is horrible. This is what it reminded me. So then it kicks into gear. Yeah. I'm on board. Second episode was better. Third episode was on par with the second episode, in my opinion. My opinion hasn't changed. It wasn't worse or better. It was just as good.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, this is very fantasy 101, very cliche. All the cliches we've seen in multiple shows, movies, whatever, they're literally just laying it all out there.
Yes.
And I'm kind of like, well,
this isn't a think piece.
We can see where everything's happening a mile away.
I mean, you have to also remember this is being done on Disney, and I don't think it's made for an older generation of people. I think it's geared more towards a younger fan base.
Listen, I thought about that, Mark. I thought exactly what you just said. I thought about. So there's two fandoms. Yes. I hate to say it, but people who know Willow are our age.
Yes.
People younger, they don't know what the fuck Willow is.
And there's even people our age who don't know what Willow is, because Willow wasn't very popular when we were younger. Unless you were like guys like us that were into D&D and that kind of stuff, you really didn't know. Like, you just knew Willow happened. It wasn't like there's no deep fandom for Willow, not like a Star Wars or a other franchise.
Right. It was one movie. It was one movie.
So it's one movie George Lucas wrote someone else directed.
Ron Howard.
Yeah, and they kind of just threw it out to get it out, kind of thing.
I
And it kind of just
I-
happened and never got talked about again. It wasn't
I
like
didn't-
a movie. Like there's no like lore for it that people are like deep into. There's probably are people that are deep into it, but I mean,
there could
it's
be.
not like as like a Lord of the Rings or a Game of Thrones or anything like that. It's just
Yeah,
there.
but so what my point is, this show has to cater towards the people who know Willow, and also
Yes.
has to cater towards the people who don't know what the hell a Willow is.
I think it's more like 70-30. 70 new people, 30 old fans. It's a show like they want parents to get their kids to watch because the parents watched the movie when they were younger. Like, I liked this movie when I was younger. We should watch this show together. You guys might like it too.
And I will say to this, if I was a teenager and I watched this show, I would probably love it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the cliches as a
Yeah.
43-year-old man.
Yeah.
All these cliches and everything, I'm just going,
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I've seen
Yeah.
it before.
It's not
I've
made
seen
for
it
us.
before. But it is. It is made for both.
I know,
It
but
is-
it's got stuff in there to get us in.
It got me.
It's mostly made for younger generation. It's
If
not
I
made
had
for
just
us.
watched that first episode, and that was the only episode I watched, and we
Yeah.
weren't doing the show, I wouldn't care. I would just be, it's not for me. I'm done.
Yeah.
I will continue watching it for the show, and I will. It's not something I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next, because I'm just kind of like, well, we kind of know where it's going.
I mean, it's tough too when you have it's like I talked about last week. I think it was last week when I talked about the show, or whenever I talked about it
Last week.
It's tough when you have one of the main characters in the movie. If you're bringing it back, the person that you would need to make this work can't be in it.
Yeah, but Warwick Davis is a big reason why I'm going to continue watching.
Oh no, I understand that, but I'm saying the person that would make this show
Oh, Val Kilmer would be
20
awesome.
times better. If Val Kilmer was in this show and was still able to do it as Mad Mardigan,
yeah,
I'd be all about the show. I'd watch.
Oh.
I'd be appointment television. I'd be. I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
But not being able to have him in there, and you have like a low rent version of him as his friend that was with him when all this stuff went down.
Yeah.
And him trying to be Mad Mardigan.
Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah.
This doesn't work.
All right. So listen.
I think the better option would have not been as a fan of it if they recasted the character.
Yeah, but that never works out.
No, but you could have gotten away with it.
No, I don't know. I don't think you could have. I think it's a smart move not to recast him. That's just if they recasted him, I think the show would not do well. I'm glad they didn't. I don't think there's a reason to do that. Now listen, I gave you my
just done like they did with Luke Skywalker. Just, bite the bullet and just age him up and put recordings of his voice that were from other things and just use that.
Listen, we don't know what could happen by the end of this series.
That's true. He could appear.
All right. I gave you my negatives. I find it to be cliche. I feel like I'm not on board with all the characters as of yet. Also, my biggest thing is that obviously the Dove, that's her nickname, but she was the baby.
Yes.
And then Willow sees her and he outs her.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you do that? He outed her. Then everybody's like coming after her. He literally walks up.
Well, they already knew.
Nobody knew.
I think the bad guys knew.
Supposedly they didn't. But if they kidnap the prince to kind of get this person to come out.
Yes.
That was the whole point.
Yes.
And Willow outed her. And I'm like, why would you do that, Willow?
Well, because he's not the best
sorcerer.
And
he knows that he's like the human encyclopedia of everything.
From the first movie, that guy was exactly the same kind of thing. So he's kind of like taking that spot over. So
yeah, but it's a lot. Exposition City with him.
Yes.
All right. But you know what? Warwick Davis, his comedic timing are great. His one-liners are great. His acting is great. I have no qualms. even though his character sometimes could be a little too much when it comes to exposition and like
Yes.
literally knowing everything,
Yes.
his performance makes it for me, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him on the small screen again.
Yeah.
Let's go positive here, Mark. I don't want to be totally negative. I will say a few things. I think the show, the choreographer, the cinematographer, the way it was filmed, those first 2 episodes were amazing to look at.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Episode 3, I heard that every 2 episodes is a new director.
Yes.
So someone directed the first 2. Now 3 and 4 are directed by someone else. I really liked whoever directed the first 2. I think the show looks great. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the show is probably, I also read it's all done not in that dome, but it's actually real location.
Yes, not in the volume. It's done in an actual
It
shot on
shows.
location stuff.
It really looks good. I think.
And they also
whoever-
like did a lot to not use CGI. Like they really like I remember that being a story when I read about the shows. They're going to really lean into the practical effects.
Yeah.
On this, as opposed to using CGI and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like the bad guys actually like have prosthetics on them, and they're not just computer generated things.
I have nothing bad to say about what it looks like. I have nothing bad to say that the production value is very good. As much as I'm complaining about the cliches, it seems to me that the people behind the camera care about this property. I don't doubt that. And like obviously there's a lot of lore they're giving us that we didn't have in the movie. I just wish it was a little bit more original storytelling. But like I said, if I had watched this as a 18-year-old Brian Gazaska, I would love it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't know any better.
Yeah.
And that's going back to the conversation we had. Yes, I think for a younger audience who isn't older and a little bit cynical, like you get when you get older, I think it could connect and be very well received.
Yeah.
As someone who's the first time I see Willow, spoiler alert, when I see Willow have his dream with all the, I'm like, Tony Stark. We've seen that with Tony Stark. We've seen that in a million things. It's not. Umbrella Academy did this. I'm like,
Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it's just kind of like
It's
okay,
everything. It's like it's a fantasy trope. It's like you have to foresee the future that you have to fix, but you've seen a future that's a future that they wanted you to see.
Yes.
You're trying to fix something that isn't what you're supposed to be fixing, and it's a whole thing.
It's a fantasy tropes 101.
Yes.
Also, Mark, what I'm gonna tell you, this is a positive, and this makes me more upset with it makes me a little upset that we didn't get this in the new Star Wars. But episode 2 of Willow, when Dove, I'm gonna keep calling her Dove because I don't know her real name, but that's her
Laura
name.
Dannon.
Okay. When she and Willow's trying to get her to do the spells and stuff. I believe I was like, man, this is just Luke Skywalker and Bray. Holy shit. And part of me was like, man, I wish we got more of this in the sequel trilogy.
They're not just coming to her. Like she actually has to try to do this. It's not like it's just something that's just a magical thing that she's magically able to do.
Yeah. I really like the dynamic when we got that in episode 2 of Willow. I really like that. Unfortunately, in episode 3, shit goes sideways, and we don't have much of that.
Well, the zombies get her.
Well, the general, who is actually the dead, taking over his body, kidnaps her. Did you see the cameo in episode 3 by the boss from Ted Lasso? The woodsman, the 2 woodsmen ladies?
Yeah, that's who that was. Okay, I knew it was somebody. I recognized her, but I couldn't figure out where she was from.
I don't even watch Ted Lasso, and I knew who it was.
No, I know, but I just couldn't. Like, I was thinking it was for some reason. I kept trying to like. I was like, that's not the girl from ER who was also in Doctor Who, but they kind of look similar.
She's
And
also
her
the
hair was kind of
lady.
the same. So
She's also the lady from Game of Thrones who said Shane.
yes.
Same
Yes.
actress.
I knew that. Yeah.
But anyway, I liked
Yeah.
the spoilers. If you haven't seen episode 3, I was kind of sad they died or she got killed. I was kind of hoping she would have a little gang going with her, but I did not. I was kind of like, oh fuck, no. So there are moments of this show that I do like. Like I said, I've got past the hump. And I think episode 2 and 3 were both enjoyable, entertaining, but I think you just turn off your brain and you just kind of go with the flow.
We're still got the brownies to come. So
who?
The brownies.
The brownies.
Kevin Pollak and the brownies, the little people.
Oh, do you think we'll be seeing them?
They're in the trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen. I didn't see. I did see the trailer, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
So listen, it's an 8-episode show. It could
Yes.
turn around. It could get a little bit better. For right now, I am just middle of the road about it. It's not like, oh my god, it's not. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is just middle of the road entertainment.
Yeah.
If anything, watch it for Warwick Davis. If anything, if you like fantasy, you know what? It's not going to insult your intelligence if you just kind of like it's going through the motions that we've all seen.
Well, episode 3 had the little heartstring pulls and stuff when they had the fight and everything.
Yeah, I mean, episode 3, some people had to bite the big one.
Yeah.
And I think that's for the what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad to see Willow's buddy die.
Yeah.
And you think about it.
I was going to say who it was, but okay.
Well, we've already spoiled other things.
Spoiler alert, kids.
Well, we're going to spoil the whole show as we go along. I mean, there's really nothing, I don't know.
Were-rats were pretty awesome.
Oh, the 2-headed.
Yeah, the were-rats.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. It was practical.
They were. Yeah. That's what Willow was. That's one of the reasons why I loved Willow. It was very like practical effect heavy. Didn't rely, well, they didn't have it back then, CGI. They did do the first CGI thing in that, but I mean, like, yeah. So
yeah, we'll cover it every week.
See where it goes.
Yeah, we'll cover it every week. We'll talk about it every week. It's a show we'll watch. So if anybody's listening to us, know we're gonna spoil Willow every week.
Yes,
from here on out until it's kind of like the only thing happening that's honestly
it is really there's nothing else really going on right now. That's what I was saying. It's like there's not like a bunch of series that you can get into besides Willow.
Yeah. And listen, I if people or you, Mark, you're enjoying it more than me, that's awesome. For me, it just, I don't know. There's just parts of it that just kind of, it's hard for me sometimes to get into a show if it starts off like it did in that first 20 minutes. That first 20 minutes was not the best.
I've just learned to not think too much when I watch shows now. I don't try to overanalyze things.
I
just like turning my brain off and letting the show happen.
Well, that's why I watch a lot of comedies recently. Yeah, I just like to have.
Claire asked me the other day. She saw it, walked in the room, and she's like, "Are you really watching this show again?" I was like, "Yeah, I kind of just brainless television." I started rewatching Big Bang Theory.
Oh, you told me that.
So, kind of turning my brain off and just binging it to get out of the world.
Right. Sometimes we need that.
I need to get out of the world more than I usually do. So.
I hear you, Mark. I hear you. All right. So on a scale of 1 through 10 on the Geekonomics scale for episodes 1 through 3 as of now on Willow, I would give it a 7. As of now.
Well, that's if you're doing all 3 as one?
Yes.
Okay. See, I was going to break them up and do it individually.
You want to do that? I could do that.
Yeah, because I think you're making it too bad of a score if you do it that way.
7's good. 7's
I know, but I mean, you could give the other episodes higher scores. I'm saying.
Here, I will give you this. I will give episode 1 a 6. I'll give episode 2 a 7, and I'll give episode 3 a 7. So, really, all 3
episodes
episodes
up to about a 7.5. 6.5.
Yeah. But I would say a little high 7 overall.
Yeah. See, for me, I
For
would
me.
go like around 6 for the first episode. Well, 6 for the first half of the episode. 7 for the second half, like maybe an 8 for the second half of the episode for the first one.
Yeah.
Second episode. Trying to remember what happened in the second episode. I'll probably give that around a 8. And then this last episode, only because the ending and what that means for this bigger story of Willow. Because that was his friend from the first movie, from the original movie.
Yeah.
So I'll give that an 8. That's like a big loss for the bigger story of Willow. Then I think people would know, because if you hadn't seen the first movie, you don't know their relationship as well. So it doesn't mean as much. But if you'd seen the first movie, if you've seen the movie, that means more in the bigger Willow story than.
Yeah.
And they've still
And-
never told the story. We still haven't seen, which is going to be a tough watch when they do show it. Whatever happened to his wife and son. Willow's wife and son, because it's just his daughter in the underground.
Right. I don't know.
They don't really talk about, and he kind of hints at it, like there's like we know that they're dead.
Yeah.
I don't know how they died or when they died.
Yeah. I don't know. I for a show, I kind of do feel that movie is, you really got to watch it. I mean, I've seen it a million times. I'm sure I'm forgetting things, but I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'd rather just jump into the show.
It was definitely worth watching. Like when I was going to watch the show, so I'd waited a couple episodes in. I was like, I want to watch this, and I was like, but I don't want to watch it because I didn't know what they were going to have at the beginning of the first episode, where they
Right.
explained the major plot points of the movie. But I was like, I think it helps with a lot more of the ancillary stuff.
The lore,
When you watch the movie.
definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely.
Not just that, but also like the interpersonal connections as well. You see like who the queen is or was in the movie, and how big of a thing that is that she's queen now because of her mother and all that story. So I think it helps like finish the circle if you watch the movie before you watch the episodes.
Yeah.
Or even watch it sometime during the show airing.
I probably will rewatch that movie during my Christmas break.
Yeah, it'll be worth it because it'll
Yeah.
definitely fill in a lot of things.
I got a laundry list of things, but that's on top of my list to watch on my vacation.
Yeah.
That Lord of the Rings, Mark. I'm gonna do it. Lord of the Rings is happening this Christmas vacation.
I mean, you only said you're going to do it at the beginning of the year, so
and I got a few weeks left. I'm doing it.
not like it's not so different that you would just kind of slide in under the deadline to get the
I'm
New Year's
doing it.
Eve. Brian's gonna watch all 3 movies
No, I'm gonna watch one
just
a
to get
day.
it in before the year.
Watch one a day. Oh, I'm excited. All right, Marcus. Well, anything else? Next week we're gonna talk
I'm
about
interested to see if you're actually gonna make it through all 3 of them. That's what my thing is. I don't know if you'll make it through all 3 of them.
I've seen the first one. I've seen half of the second one already, but that was so long ago.
Yeah.
So
But I even think on the rewatch, I don't know if you'd be able to get through the 3 of them.
why?
Because I just knowing your likes and dislikes of things, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
this
if you'll be able to deal with it. You might
Well-
just get too. They're long. And
I
you
have no
don't-
problem with
You don't
long.
do well with long things because you
I
fall
have-
asleep.
I have no problem with that.
As long as you have to watch it at a certain time so you don't fall asleep. You have to
No, if I watch it at 10 in the morning,
be
I
in the
start
right
at 10 in the
mood.
morning, I will be fine.
So you're interested.
Well, Lord of the Rings is the godfather of fantasy. Tolkien is the godfather of fantasy. I mean,
Yes.
so like, there's a difference. If I'm watching Willow and they're
But
like,
the movies
"Re-
aren't written by Tolkien. The movies are written by Peter Jackson. So they're a little not as
based on the books. And
Yes.
he was very faithful to the books.
I know, but they're very long-winded in some parts.
Unlike the shit show that was the Hobbit movies, which sucked a large. I saw all three of them. First Hobbit movie was awesome. I loved it.
Yes.
Second Hobbit movie, I was like, this is going on way too long. Third Hobbit movie, I'm like, the Hobbit's not even in this anymore. It's about everything else.
Yeah. It was about the dwarves.
It's about the dwarves. The Hobbit is 100-page book.
Yes.
That's a money grab.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was the biggest money grab. Warner Brothers was like, okay, you had a lot of success with Lord of the Rings. Let's do it again with a 100-page book, The Hobbit.
Hey, going back to Lord of the Rings, Kevin Smith still has the best line in a movie ever that he wrote and talking about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There's so much walking in these movies, even the trees walk.
Yeah. And they're just dropping a ring. That's it. Just walking to drop a ring.
Walk away.
Walk away. That's it. The whole premise of the movies.
Still one of my favorite scenes of any movie was
the
that
Clerks 2. Yeah.
where Randall goes off on a tangent about the Lord of the Rings movies.
So good. All right, Mark, we should wrap it up. Next week, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Okay. I'll rewatch it.
Rewatch it. I'm going to watch it. Anybody who watches us, watch it. We'll be talking about it.
Or just on your own, watch it. Even if you don't watch us, watch it.
That's what I'm saying. Watch it, baby.
Yeah.
And we'll be back for next week.
Yes, we will. As always. As Brian, I don't know what he's doing down there.
I'm itching. My leg, it's itchy.
Be
You ever
safe.
ever get an itch and then when you start itching it feels so good?
That's what it's called, itching.
Oh my God. Right. I
It's
hit the
awkward.
spot.
This
Right
is
in the
awkward.
old ankle.
Yeah, that's an awkward one. All right. Be safe, be well, be kind.
And rewind.
And check out that farmer's market. We'll throw that in.
All right.
Somewhere in the show it was in there.
This Sunday.
This
10
Sunday.
to noon.
10 to noon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.